Hey guys, Melinda over here at Prim and Proper Hair and Beauty Lounge. I'm going to be going over with you my favorite updo, and it's my most requested one because it's super romantic and it doesn't matter what occasion it's for. It could be from bridal to prom to just regular holiday hair. So I'm really excited to show this to you guys along with my most favorite Unite products. So I have Noe here with me today. I've already analyzed her hair, and she does have fine to medium hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and section off the front, which is pretty much just behind her ear and forward. And I'm going to go ahead and prep her with the Max Control spray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with a 1-inch curling iron. I've noticed just with like a lot of different brides and clients that I have is right here at the nape, they tend to lose their curl a lot faster. So I'm probably going to really layer on the Max Control spray. It's an amazing prepping spray, mainly because it's dry to touch, and I absolutely love that because I don't have to deal with any of the sticky spray or worrying about the sizzling when you go to put the hot iron on her hair. So I'm just going to brush after I've already sprayed, because I feel like that's just going to kind of get the flyaways down even more. So here I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and like I said, with a 1-inch curling iron. And I'm going to start right at the base, and then I'm going to pull my ends all the way through. And pulling the ends all the way through isn't something that I do all the time, but for this specific updo, it's something that I really want to have really clean finished ends. And as I'm letting go, I'm kind of twisting under and then letting go. It just kind of gives it a little bit more of an extra set without having to actually pin every single curl. Okay, so now that I have the whole back half of her hair curled, I'm going to go ahead and move into the crown. And like I said before, I was using the 1-inch curling iron just because I wanted a little bit more curl back here. But up in this crown area, I want it to just look super soft. So I'm going to go in with the 1 1/4. And same way that I was curling before, I'm going to go ahead and start right at the base. And nothing like over too directed, because I don't need too much volume, but I'm still going to twist under and then let that fall. So I'll do this all in the crown, and then when I get to what I have parted away from her ear forward, I'm going to kind of curl more like I'm just kind of curling in the salon, just because I want it to look really soft. I don't want any super tight curls, because sometimes I feel like when it's too tight, then it just looks too done. And since this is pretty much just for a holiday party, I just don't want it to look too overdone. So when I go in through here, I'm still going to part this away. And still setting with the Max Control spray. And with the 1 1/4, I'm just going to take my curling iron vertically in, just so it gives me like a really good, more like a beachy wave, and still twisting under like I was before. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll go through, and I'm probably just going to leave out her hairline until the very, very end, until we decide what we want to do with her bang area. We haven't decided yet if we want to leave this out and leave it just more swept, more wispy, or if we want to pull all of that back. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep curling this. Okay, so now we're in the front, and we're going to be focusing on her bang area. We've already determined that we just want to go ahead and go in with her natural part. It's always important with your brides or your clients, when you kind of discuss what they want to do, what they're comfortable with. Sometimes clients really want a heavy part, and sometimes they're not comfortable with that at all. So you really want to make sure that it's something that they're going to be really comfortable with all day long. I always like to go with the natural part, mainly because you don't get stuck fighting with it. A lot of times they have cowlicks all around the face framing area, and you can see just by pulling it back that she has this spot here where it always just kind of naturally wants to part. So we're going to go ahead and go based off of that, and we're going to get this curled pretty loose. I'll just go ahead and stay with the 1 1/4 curling iron, and I'll just go ahead and curl back and away from her face. Again, holding my curling iron vertically, and then doing 1 twist under, and just letting that fall. And then the same thing with this side. Going in vertically. And then just letting that fall. So now that we have all of that done, what we can do is go ahead and start seeing what it's going to do. One thing that I really love about this updo is that it doesn't look the same on every person. It always looks different, and you just go based off of what their hair is naturally doing. You're definitely going to be twisting and pulling things into places so that it all works, but I love it because you can really just play with it, but you're really doing the same thing on every client. So that already looks really soft, really pretty. So I'm still going to, again, section this away because I want to stay focused on the back. Okay, so we have a really nice space going on with this wave. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go in the crown area, and we're going to prep with the expanded S just to give a little bit more grit and a little bit more volume. So I'm just going to go ahead and puff this in there. And then with the teasing brush, I'll go in and I'll tease. Typically with this very first section, I don't tease too much, just give a real light tease. And then with the second one, I can go ahead and go in and really get that tease in there. I like to do the crown area first, just so I can determine how much volume. And then when I go to pin up the rest, it really just all starts to fall together so much easier. Okay, so now that we have that there, I'm just going to go ahead and smooth this out. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and anchor with 2 pins the amount of volume that I want. So now that I have this in here, what I can do is just go ahead and play with what her hair wants to do. So I can either go ahead and just grab this whole section, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start twisting. And I want to see what her hair is going to be doing so that I can see how it's going to start laying. So I'm just twisting and kind of not pinning anything yet. I'm just playing with it just to see what it's going to do and where it's going to lay best. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this first one here. And just start pinning. And then I like to go on to the opposite side. And then we'll go ahead and pin this. Okay, so we kind of have this last piece here. So we're just playing with it just to kind of see where it wants to go, wherever it wants to live. And you want to keep making sure that you're looking in the mirror so that it's all balanced. And anything that needs to be pulled down so that it is, you can easily do that. I only have about 6 to 8 pins in here, so it makes it really easy that you can just kind of pull and maneuver anything that you want to play with. Any pieces that where you feel like you need a little bit more fullness, you can go ahead and play with those. And then once you get the desired look that you want, then you can start securing. Here you can kind of see how you can see a little bit of those pins. What I like to do when there's any problems like that is to just kind of pick up without opening your pin, pick up the hair and just slide that in there just to kind of hide any of those pins that are really anchoring. Okay, so we're going to be putting in all of the finishing touches now. Around the front, I'm going to go ahead and spray with Texturizer because I want her to keep the volume all around her face. And with the Texturizer, it just kind of gives that extra texture to it, and it also has the hairspray in it to give hold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly pin these back. And I love all the wispies that are kind of hanging down. So I'm just going to kind of pin that back. And then with this side, same thing. I'm just going to loosely pin this back. I like everything. I want to go in with the Session Matte spray, and what that's going to do is just really hold this all in place. I really love that all of these flyaways are hanging down, and this is really going to keep it from, it's going to keep it from getting frizzy. They're going to stay where they need to and not go super droopy to where it just looks like her hair is undone. So in just a few light sprays of this, you don't need to go super crazy, because it really does its job. It's one thing that I really love about it. You're not going to get the white flakes on your client's hair, and it's just going to look really smooth. And stay in place where you want it. Okay, so that's it. Noe is all ready to go to her holiday party. Have lots of fun. This updo is going to last her all night.